What's up everybody, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at this brand new 2022 Dodge Challenger Shaker 392. Big shout out and thank you to Feeney, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram for providing this new Hemi Challenger for today's video. Definitely take a look at their website, links down below. And the model that we're looking at today is finished off in F8 green, has the RT Scat Pack ATX package along with the Shaker package, and a total MSRP at $56,900. Underneath the hood of the Shaker 392 Scat Pack, you're going to find a naturally aspirated 6.4 liter Hemi V8. This 8-cylinder engine pumps out 485 horsepower with 475 pound-feet of torque. It's paired to the 8-speed automatic transmission and sends all of the power to the rear wheels. The really unique feature of the Shaker hood, this is actually a ram air intake for fresh air. You can see the massive hole right in the center of the hood, but all the air comes through the front and then goes towards the back through this pipe and into the cold air intake. So that way this is only breathing in the fresh air right on the top of the hood. So it really makes this a super efficient, massive 8-cylinder. This car can achieve 0 to 60 in about 4.2 seconds, top out at 174 miles per hour, and it weighs in around 4,200 pounds. And running on an 18.5 gallon fuel tank, you can achieve 15 miles per gallon in the city with 24 out on the highway. The overall length is 197.9 inches with wheelbase at 116.2. Width is 75.7 and height is 58.4 inches. And then now moving to the exterior styling with this 2022 Dodge Challenger Shaker 392 Scat Pack. This is a really cool car with all the good packages on it, and the green really stands out. If we take a look at these traditional round headlights, they are LED and you can see how nice they look, and I really love how on these center ones there's actually a cold air intake duct. Very neat the way it's designed. You get the old school Challenger written out in the script and a huge opening up top with massive air vents to allow cooling to the engine. You can see the other induction vent right there. Really nice integration with the RT logo as well. And then down below that we do get LED fog lights in a nice little housing, and then a huge opening down below for more cooling to the radiators. This RT also gets a massive black splitter up front, protruding outwards several inches, and it even does have packaging on the sides. That is a removable piece. Those yellow pieces actually come off, and I really like just how clean and flat the front end is. Moving to this hood now, the Shaker hood is a really classic design, and I love the graphics you can see running through the center. You can see how that whole induction vent sticks out through the hood with 392 Hemi. You get really sharp lines, and it really does come together and make this look like an ultimate muscle car. I think the Challenger, while it's a very old design, it just has a super retro look, and I definitely love the way it looks. As we move to the side profile, you can notice it's a pretty big car, huge hood, huge trunk, and a lot of sharp lines. This car also gets a massive set of 20-inch wheels in all four corners. They're a split 5-spoke with a gunmetal gray, and you even get a Brembo brake caliper in back, finished in black. There's a really subtle lip around this front fender, and we even get the Scat Pack logo on the front fender as well. Really sharp line cutting its way through the side profile, and I love just how flat all the bodywork is. I think that's a really unique design for the Challenger. Very retro. We even get that F8 green on your side mirrors as well as the door handles, and then all black trim for the side windows. That Shaker vinyl goes all the way to the roof with a blacked out shark fin antenna, and I just really like how all the lines come together. In back we also get Brembo brakes, nice wheel design, and that same sharp lip around the fender arch. And then you can see how that sharp line goes all the way into the rear bumper. In back you can see the vinyl graphic going towards the trunk lid, and then we get a nice satin black lip spoiler. We get the Scat Pack name and logo on the far right side with a backup camera right in the center of the lip. And then we get a massive set of LED taillights finished in red. You can see all the gloss black with Dodge written out. There's sharp lines running through the entire center portion of the rear bumper. License plate is in the center, all the parking sensors in the lower area. You can also see this plastic black for the full rear diffuser, and then a dual exhaust system finished off with polished tips. So there's a full look at the exterior with the RT Scat Pack. I love the Shaker hood. The Shaker package is so cool, how you get that ram air intake effect. Just a really neat option, and it just makes this car look so retro. I do love the design of this. While it's a pretty old design, it is a retro looking car, and I think the Challenger of the three muscle cars, this one just looks so cool. So we have the key fob, pretty basic from Dodge. We do get remote start. If I go ahead and lock it and double tap on the key fob, you can hear the Hemi. All right, not too bad. I was expecting a little bit louder, but nonetheless, you get that really good roar. Going ahead and tapping it to shut it off. Now all you have to do is grab the door handle and lift it up. It'll unlock it, and then lifting up again, we can go ahead and check out this interior. This Challenger gets a black leather interior with black alcantara all throughout, and then a little bit of gray trim. We move our way to the door panel, finished off in all the black leather, really nice and smooth. You can see the contrast stitching. You get some good padding for your armrest and a grab handle. All the window controls, mirror controls, and lock and unlock. And then you even get memory seating. You have a little bit of storage down below with the release handle down here as well. And then even storage in the back side. This gets an Alpine audio system and then a power driver seat for forwards and back. We get lumbar support and then manual recline. Then you can see these smooth black leather, smooth alcantara, and then all perforated alcantara in the center. Really nice bolsters as well, huge back bolsters. And I love this Scat Pack logo all stitched into it. More stitching around the headrests. Pretty comfortable looking seats. We get a black leather steering wheel with perforated leather and the Dodge logo. And then now inside, keeping my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. For the gauge cluster, we get an analog tack over on the left with a really retro looking theme, and then the speedometer over on the right side. We do get an LCD display right in the center, and you can configure that using the panel on the left side of the steering wheel. So right now we have a digital speedometer. If I scroll down to vehicle information, you can scroll left and right and see all sorts of different information for all the engine vitals. That's a really good feature to have, especially for a more performance focused car. We can continue down for performance. You can see 0 to 60 timers, things like that for all sorts of drag racing you're going to be doing in this. You can continue down to fuel economy, not that it's too important in a Hemi V8. And then a few more trip information, audio, and messages will come up. Taking a look at the steering wheel now, we get cruise control settings over on the right side, then some Bluetooth and audio on this left side. And then on the back side, we do get radio controls and volume. And then on the top side, we get these small little paddle shifters. They have a pretty nice look and feel to them. However, they're only about this big, but nonetheless, they are finished off in what feels like metal or just really nice plastic. We do get the turn signal stalk on the left with all the wiper blade controls. And then headlight controls are on the left side with the interior dimming and the trunk. You can see some more of that leather and stitching running across the dashboard, which has a pretty nice look to it. Really smooth looking, some nice little edges in there. Then you can see the silver trim right in the center, leading to the 2 air vents and our touchscreen display. So we have our climate control set up. Very easily, you can adjust the dual zone temperature, all of your zones, your fan speed and everything, all touchscreen. We have the media icon as well for all the music. This control icon for the heated and ventilated seats. You even have a heated steering wheel, other settings you can go through. Going under this apps icon, there's all sorts of different things. You can adjust what you'd like to see, and you can even move things to this bottom to have nice shortcuts. We have performance pages as well. And once it loads, you can see your horsepower, G-force meter, your gear. You can have all of your timers come up. You can see the gauges to monitor more things within the vitals and the engines. You can see G-force meter, engine, and you can play with a dyno to see what kind of power you're putting out. You do get navigation, all of your settings. Then going back to the apps icon, you can also tap the SRT dashboard. This will come up with your launch control. You can adjust your revs, how you want it to launch, your line lock, if you need to do a burnout to warm up your rear tires. You also have your drive modes you can select and adjust your transmission, as well as the traction and steering. You have different modes up top. You can adjust everything. You can see how the colors will change to let you know which mode you're going to be entering. Then on top of that, going back in, you have your race options as well. Line lock, you can see everything in kind of a different view of the previous one. But really nice the way everything is super easy to adjust how this car is going to work. Then of course you can put this into reverse. We do get a backup camera. It's pretty poor on the graphics. However, it's a nice large screen. Sensors come up as well, so it makes it pretty useful to have. Going back into park now. Underneath all those controls, we do get a launch control icon, your drive mode select, screen on and off, volume, mute, all of those normal controls, and then physical climate controls. And when you make any adjustments down here, it will come up on the screen as well. You can adjust your dual zone temperature, and then you can see the defrost in there as well. We have our shifter with a little bit of storage, and then 2 cup holders towards the center, and then a really cool leather design coming around this armrest. If we press this, it opens up sideways, and we get a pretty good amount of space in here. Definitely several phones. You can see some auxiliaries and a plug, and even a slot for your wires to come out. Moving to the glove box now, it's pretty large. You get a shelf up there as well, and it looks like this even comes with a pretty cool, maybe a 10mm with a shaker on it. So nice that it comes with its own tools. And then one last look at the interior. While the Challenger is a pretty dated car, you know, this one being a really top tier trim level, it is pretty nice in here. A little old on the screens, however, not too bad for an older car. We get some storage up top for your sunglasses, as well as dome lights and garage door openers, and then the mirror. The Dodge Challenger also has back seats. If you grab the handle on the back, we can get this out of the way and then just press the button to get a little bit more out of the way. You do get 3 seats back here, finished in the same design with the alcantara as well as the smooth black leather. There's even air vents in the front, and then an armrest right there with a little bit of speakers and an armrest in the sides. All right, so sitting now in the back of the Dodge Challenger. So for a 2-door car, this is probably one of the largest and most comfortable back seats. I'm 5'11", sitting back here with honestly no issues. My head is just barely touching the ceiling. It's more of my hair, not even my head. And then if I grab the seat, you can pull this back, and with the driver's seat set at my height, I have plenty of leg room, a good armrest on the left, a good one on the inside, and then you even get some dome lights up top as well as hooks for clothes. And the windows, they're a little small, so it might be a little cramped feeling back here, but since there's so much space, this is pretty usable. And I have access to grab that lever and pull this out to get out of the car. Moving to the trunk space, you can double tap on the button on the key fob. There is one on the back, or of course that one on the interior. Then you can just lift this open. It's got the gas struts to assist it, and this is a massive trunk. You could probably fit 4 golf bags in here, and 4 people could even go on a little vacation in this. There's so much space in the back of a Challenger. And then with the seats folded down, you can see just how much more storage space you're gonna get in the back of a Challenger. Moving our way inside, they fold almost flat, not quite. However, you do have a pretty good opening to enter into the trunk, making this a super practical 2-door car. So setting off now in the Challenger. So we'll do a point of view to kind of see what it's actually like driving this, and then we'll get my opinions later in the test drive. So first thing you notice is that huge shaker hood. That is so cool, and I hope the camera can pick it up. Between every gear shift, you can see it shake a little bit. Maybe that's why they call it a shaker, but because obviously the engine and transmission are connected, you can see it. When I hit the gas and let off, you literally see it shaking. That is just a really cool little touch to kind of add that fun factor to this muscle car. Visibility is actually pretty good. You have a huge view out the windshield. Of course, you can see the hood right in your sight, but you know, left and right shoulders are pretty good. The rear headrest, I wish they moved down, and that is a little bulky, but not too bad looking around. So we're in manual mode and the sport mode. Let's get up to some speed. Get into second. Honestly, it's quicker than I was expecting. I'm short shifting, obviously being a brand new engine, but it's not bad. Now, this isn't a crazy fast car. You know, don't expect this to really be winning too many drag races. It's a heavy car, so the acceleration is kind of compromised. There's a lot of other cars with less power, much smaller engines that are gonna smoke this just because they weigh 1,000 pounds less. So it's pretty quick though. I really think you at least need a V8 in a car like this. The V6 is just really no fun. But this one being the bigger V8, I think it's a pretty good power plant. It has a really good sound. And the 8-speed transmission is actually pretty snappy. I don't really like the paddles being this big. I wish they were a little bit bigger, but it's responsive. You know, you hit the paddle and it changes gear, same with the downshifts. It's a pretty interesting car to drive. It's really different than a Mustang or a Camaro, and I do like the fact that this feels so luxurious. It's so roomy and big in here. You could be probably a pretty tall person, and this would be a really easy car to just fit in and just be comfortable when you drive it. So it's nice to be in. These seats are extremely comfortable as well, and I just like the materials. It's actually not that bad. While they could totally update this, you know, I'm sure they are around the corner from completely redoing this and the Charger. It's actually pretty cool. And I like between gear changes, it kind of hits you in the back just a little bit. I don't think the drive modes really do too much. It's really just the transmission being a little bit quicker and paddle shifter, so not really much tuning with this system. Gear shifts are noticeably quicker though in track mode. That's pretty sweet to feel out. But yeah, normal driving this car, it's actually really comfortable. This would be a good daily driver just to rack up miles and be in comfort. If I go to automatic mode and just keep it, you know, all normal and basic, you know, with all the technology, the ventilated seats, it actually kind of has a little bit of a luxury vibe to it, but it really does have that old school muscle car feeling. Yeah. To be quite honest, I was actually going in this thinking I already knew what I was going to think about it. I like this better than I thought. I think the 5.7 liter V8, I don't think that's worth buying. I think the 6.4 really does actually give you power to where you can feel like you're in something quick. The smaller V8 is all show, no go in my opinion. It sounds good, but it's a slow car. I drove one recently, just a basic RT. It's a Toyota Camry as far as accelerations, it really is. It's a slow car. This one, not crazy fast, it's not a Hellcat, obviously. However, it's pretty quick. You know, it's fun to play with. You do have that really good, meaty V8 sound, but you actually have some acceleration to where this will get up to some speed. You'll hit 60 without really thinking too much. It's not gonna blow your socks off or anything like that, but, I mean, it's fun to accelerate in this car. And this is just short shifting at 60 miles an hour, you know, not full throttle, half throttling it. It's pretty darn quick, and the hood is so cool. That really just kind of makes this car something completely different. It's so cool to watch that. You just see it twisting every time. But yeah, so overall opinions of it, it's a interesting car to drive. Not really my style, just because, you know, I like faster and better handling and stuff. But it's not that bad for being a true muscle car. This is like the definition of a muscle car. The Mustang and Camaro have really turned more into sports cars with a muscle car vibe. So this is kind of back to the origins of what a muscle car can give you. It's all about big engine, straight line power, and a bigger size vehicle. You know, this is pretty roomy, huge trunk, so much space in it. So there's a lot to like about a Challenger since it's so usable. You can just use so much of this. And once you opt up for at least an RT Scat Pack, you know, the shaker option and stuff, it wakes it up to where it's a pretty sweet ride. I would love bigger paddle shifters though. Gosh. Every gear change, it kind of hits you in the back. So I like that drama to it in the track mode here. I like that. Man, I'm liking this way more than I thought. I am an import tuner guy, and I am liking this big, heavy boat of a muscle car. But it's pretty sweet. So things I don't like about it, interior's a little dated. It's not as bad as people really say, honestly. I think if you get these in a nicer trim level, that really makes them not bad. If you get this as a base model V6, you know, cloth everything, it's kind of cheap and junky feeling. This one's not bad, and this isn't too crazy of an expensive car to where you would expect like real leather on everything and something crazy fancy. The screen could use some updating, the backup camera's not good. However, it's better than nothing. So the interior has items that I would like to see better. Obviously, it's an older car, so hopefully they update that. But I don't know. I like the meaty V8, it's actually pretty nice. I wouldn't mind these not being so heavy to where this would actually be a fast car. You know, you have to get the supercharged engine to actually have a fast car. This is just a quick car, not a fast car. But I think it's a really good blend, well-balanced car. The handling is all right. I mean, it still is a big car, but I've taken these around some sharper turns, and it's all right. You know, a twisty, smaller back road, you know, up in the mountains or something, not really this thing's favorite, but some sweeping turns, you know, things like that, it'll still be good enough. But I think the Challenger has a lot to offer. It's just the really big, more practical muscle car version of a Camaro and a Mustang. And this one, only real complaints, it could use some updating for sure, and I would say only get the 6.4 or bigger. Don't get the other engines because they're kind of slow. However, if you want, of course, all-wheel drive or the efficiency of a V6 and you're not really into performance, you get a nice big car. But yeah, that is the SRT Scat Pack Shaker 392. A lot of words on this one's particular name. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for plenty more content. And a big shout out and thank you to Feeney, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram for providing this Challenger for today's video. Take a look at the website linked below. And I'll see you guys in the next video.